Hi guys, this is George back here with another vlog, and today I'm back at Blackpool Pleasure Beach for my first visit since 2021. There's been so much change since my last visit here to the park, and I'm really looking forward to getting back round on some of my favourite rides and also experiencing a lot of new things as well. Of course, Valhalla reopened last year after its refurbishment, so I'm going to get to ride that for the first time today. I'm hopefully going to be riding Enso today for my first time, which is the spinning seat on the back of Icon. And there are also some other rides here that I have never done before, despite being here 3 times before. There are still some rides that I haven't done here before, including a new credit for me to get as well, because one of the sides on Steeplechase I haven't done, so I'll hopefully be getting a +1 credit today as well. So here we go, let's go and get on some rides. It's also late night riding tonight as well, so the park's open till 10 o'clock with fireworks. It's my first time at a late night riding event, so I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Here we go, it's nice to see this view again. Hello. We got Big Dipper over there as well. Over 100 years old now. Of course, last year in 2023, Big Dipper turned 100 years old. It was actually his 101st birthday yesterday. See, I'm gonna head over to Icon first, the Mack double launch coaster here at the park. What used to be my favourite ride in the UK, not anymore. But I can't wait to get back on it. Of course, the big one over there, that's been testing this morning. We've got River Caves over here as well. This is a ride I've never been on here. However, it is closed at the moment. It's been closed for a while. And it doesn't look like it's going to be reopening anytime soon. But hopefully it won't be too long until that's back. Here we go. So I just had a ride on Icon there, absolutely fantastic ride, really enjoyed it. Nice and smooth, it's a long ride, there's some great elements on there. The restraints are really nice on there as well. Of course, those Mack rides, lap bars. Yes, it might not be my favourite roller coaster in the UK anymore, however it is still my second favourite, and it is still right up there as one of my favourite roller coasters in Europe really. It's an absolutely fantastic ride. The views you can get of it off-ride are fantastic. It's such a nice ride to be able to watch and take photos of. It's just a really beautiful ride to watch, like especially with the blue sky behind it as well. Very impressive. It's a fantastic ride. I absolutely loved it, and it was great to get back on it again after so long. I'm going to go for a ride on the big one now, which is the UK's second tallest roller coaster, not the tallest anymore. So I'm going to go for a ride on here. It was a bit rough last time I went on it, but hopefully it's going to be running well today. So change of plan. Big one is at a 70-minute queue, and I think it's only running 1 train as well, so I'm going to save that for later. I'm not queuing that long for it when there's other rides that I want to get on. So I'm going to go for a ride on Steeplechase instead, and it looks like the green side is operational, which is the one I need to go on. So I just got on Steeplechase there. I got the credit, the green side. I've now done all 3 tracks on there. It's a decent ride for families, but I mean, it's an old arrow coaster, so yeah, it is going to be a bit rough. There are some corners on there that were really jolty, but other than those couple of corners, it was all right. I won the race as well, but it's really nice on that, how you got the 3 tracks, you can go on there with your friends and family and race them on there. I've had some very competitive rides on Steeplechase before, so yeah, it is a fun one to be able to do with other people. So while I was in the queue for Icon, I did book Enso, which is the spinning seat on the back of one of Icon's trains. I've never done this before. It's opened in 2022, and it's a spinning seat at the back of one of the trains. So yeah, this is really interesting. It's an upcharge experience. You can pay £15 and get a standard experience where you get put in a virtual queue. or you can pay £25 where I think you get straight on it. So I've done the £15 one and my time slot has just been called, so I'm going to go for a ride on here now. My first time experiencing this. I'm really excited to see what this is like. Of course, I've been on the Ride to Happiness at Plopsaland, which is an extreme spinner. This isn't. This is a slightly different seat to an extreme spinner. However, it looks like you can get some really fast spinning on here. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to experiencing this. Whilst I'm on the way there as well, here's a look at Grand Prix, which is now closed here at the park. This is an absolute classic ride. I never went on it. I believe it opened in the it might have been 1960 it opened. I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that it's a very old ride and it has now closed to make way for something new. Yeah, I'll take a look around the rest of the layout later on and see what's going on with it. So I just had a ride on Enso there and that was really weird. It was a fantastic experience. I really enjoyed that. It was really weird just going around on Icon, which of course is just like a standard Mack launch coaster, but then it's the same layout but you're spinning. It just felt really weird, and I got a decent spin on there as well. Of course, the trick with that is, a lot of people have already said this, but now that I've finally experienced it after a couple years of it being open, the trick with that is to get to go on there on your own, so all the weight is on one side, so then you get more of a spin. I was spinning around pretty good on there. I got some, it was really weird, like that the first inversion on there. Well, I say first inversion, kind of the only inversion really. But that inversion on there, the kind of heartline roll, I got some crazy spinning going through there. It was so weird spinning whilst going through that inversion. Towards the end there was some really good spinning as well, like sideways airtime on there. I was going backwards for part of it. It was really, really fun, and I'm really tempted to do it again. It is £15 per ride. It is not cheap, however. It's not as if I visit this park very often. I live a long way away, and that was my first time doing it. I am very tempted to go on again later on because that was really good fun. So I just went into the Icon shop because I wanted to buy a pin badge for Enso. I really like the logo and branding for Enso, so I really wanted to get a pin badge for it. They didn't have any, unfortunately, so I don't think I'm going to be getting one of them, unfortunately, unless maybe they'll have them in other shops, but I don't know. I'll have a look around and see if they have any. Something I did notice in there, though, is a lot of the Enso merch that's left. There was like t-shirts and there was a magnet in there. A lot of it seems to be reduced, so perhaps they are trying to get rid of it because maybe Enso's not going to be sticking around for much longer. I mean, it's been here for a couple years now, so how much longer is it going to stay around for? I literally just walked straight onto it, and every time I've seen it go round today, it's been empty. So as far as I'm aware, I might have been the only person to go on there today. I haven't seen anybody else go on there today, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Enso. Maybe his days are numbered here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. So I just had a ride on Revolution, the Arrow shuttle loop there. A fantastic ride. It's my second favourite ride here in the park. Really nice and smooth. The airtime on there is fantastic. I was on the very back row, so I got absolutely thrown out of my seat on the first drop there. The restraints aren't the most comfortable, however, I mean, it is a classic Arrow, and it's very smooth as well, to be honest. Really good airtime, very intense. It's definitely the most intense ride here at the park. It's a very simple ride, however, it is really enjoyable. Of course, you go down the drop, through the vertical loop, and then you go back up again and do it all backwards again. So yeah, I really like it. It's a fantastic ride, and the views you get from the queue as well are absolutely fantastic. You saw some shots of some of the other rides here at the park from up there. Absolutely fantastic views. That's probably my favourite place to view the park. It's like you go up there, get amazing views, and then you get an amazing ride out of it as well. Absolutely brilliant. I'm heading over now to the other side of the park, the entrance area, and I think now's the time to go for a ride on Valhalla. I think I just looked at the app and it said 25-minute queue, so I think I'm going to go for a ride on that now. It's nice and sunny at the moment as well, so I think now is the time to go on there. I'll probably have a ride on Grand National while I'm down here as well, a classic wooden coaster here at the park, and then there's also some other rides that I'd like to go on down here as well. So here's a look at Ice Blast then, which is currently closed for refurbishment. A lot of people have been speculating that this ride isn't going to be coming back. However, Amanda Thompson, the OBE of the park, has said it is going to be coming back. She said that at the start of the season. However, yeah, not a lot seems to have been happening with it. Blackpool Pleasure Beach have also recently had a loan granted as well for what looks to be for an Intamin gyro swing, a brand new flat ride. A lot of people have been speculating that it's going to replace Ice Blast. To be honest, I don't know if it will, because I do think this is going to come back. If the OBE of the park says it's going to come back, then I'm going to trust her with that. I mean, it doesn't really look like it's in the best state. However, if she says it's going to come back, I'll believe her for now. So yeah, I do think the gyro swing will go somewhere else in the park. So the time has come for me to experience Valhalla. This is going to be my first ever time riding this. So originally this opened in year 2000. It then closed in 2020 for a refurbishment. It was supposed to reopen in 2021, but it got pushed back to 2022. Then it got pushed back again to 2023, where it did finally reopen, and it had some rave reviews when it first reopened. I've heard great things about it. I can't wait to experience it. I've heard it's an absolute soaker, so therefore I have come prepared today. I've got a raincoat, which I'm going to put on, and then I've also bought sliders today as well. So I'm going to go on there because I've heard that the water literally comes like flooding into the boat. So I don't really want to be wearing trainers whilst on here. So I've come prepared, and I've also got a change of clothes as well. So let's see how this goes. Luckily, it does seem to be quite sunny today. However, it seems to be a bit weird because the sun comes in and then it comes out again, and then the next minute it's in again. It's like it can't seem to make up its mind today. The majority of the day it seems to be quite sunny. I mean, I did have my hoodie off earlier, and then it got cold while I was in the queue for Revolution. Now it's really warm again, so yeah, I'll definitely take this hoodie off for the ride, and then I'll replace it with my raincoat, and then at least I've got a dry hoodie to put on when I get off the ride. So I've just experienced Valhalla, and that was absolutely incredible. I really bags flying around. I really enjoyed that. There was some great theming in there, some great scenes. I got absolutely soaked in there. I have changed now though. I had the raincoat, so luckily none of the water went through to my t-shirt, so I haven't had to change into another. I did bring a spare t-shirt and shorts if I needed it. However, the raincoat made sure that none of the water went through to my t-shirt, which was fantastic. So yeah, I just took the raincoat off and put my hoodie back on. I was pretty cold after that though. The water's freezing, then of course wearing a raincoat like that's got cold water on like bare skin, because I was only wearing a t-shirt underneath that. I was freezing coming off of that. However, it was amazing. My one critique with that is that you can see some of the other scenes before you get there, especially towards the end of the ride. There was a bit where there was a drop, which is the finale drop, and you go through the ring of fire, people tend to call it. It's like there's fire effects that go off around you and the water, while the water splashes. I saw that going up the final lift hill, and I thought that that was the drop that we had already come down. So I thought, oh, we didn't get that effect, but it worked for the boat after us. But it turned out we just hadn't been through that part of the ride yet. So I do wish that you couldn't see those scenes before you actually get to it, because that kind of takes away from the mystery of it. But I did really enjoy that. There was some great fire effects in there, some great water effects as well, some really cool animatronics in there, some really impressive scenes in there, some amazing lighting. It was an absolutely fantastic ride. I'm absolutely soaked, but you know what? I'm so glad I had my sliders on there, because the water in the boat was literally just, it was just going around in the boat. Like my trainers were doing absolutely soaked. I'd have been walking around with wet trainers for the whole rest of the day if I was wearing them. So I'm so glad I had my sliders on to make sure that, yeah, because now the good thing is I can just put my trainers back on once my feet dry a bit. So that's ideal, really. I'll tell you what, I really, really want to go back round on Valhalla again. But the queue's 90 minutes now, and I'm already soaked anyway, so I might as well just go around again. I can just go through the queue line and then put my raincoat back on once I get to the front. But it is a 90-minute queue, and there are a lot of other rides that I want to get on. So I might just sit in the sun and dry off for a bit. So I just had a ride on Derby Racer, an absolute classic here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, one of only 3 in the world, and I've never been on it before, so I'm really glad that I finally experienced it, and that was really good fun actually. It was way faster than I was expecting it to be. You look at it off-ride and it looks pretty speedy, but when you're on there, it's way faster than it looks off-ride. Really, really enjoyed that, and we got a really long cycle on there as well. It looks really nice as well. The presentation of it is fantastic. All the lights in the ceiling and like the kind of topiary around the edge. It is a really nice ride. Really glad I've finally been on that. So I just had a ride on Grand National there, so I was going in there expecting the worst. I have gone on the other side before. It was a while ago, that was a few years ago, I went on the other side, and it was very rough last time I went on it, so I was going in expecting it to be very rough this time. I was on a non-wheel seat, and to be honest, I can't believe I'm actually saying it, but that was actually fairly smooth, to be honest. It's like, yeah, there was some rough patches on there, but the majority of it was pretty smooth actually, and of course the padding on there really helps as well. The trains are so comfortable. It's like you're sat on a sofa with that. It's so much padding. So even if it is rough, at least you're not being banged around against like a solid train. You have got a lot of cushioning around you, which makes it a lot more comfortable. But there were a few moments of roughness on there, but the majority of it was pretty smooth. You get some fantastic airtime on there. It was actually a really good fun ride. I don't know, like if the other side, maybe the other side's rougher than that side. I was on the right side, if you're looking at it from the front. Maybe it is, because last time I went on it, I was on the left side, and it was really rough. So I mean, I would go round again on the other side to see if that one is the same, or if that one is rougher, or I'd go around again and try it on a wheel seat and see how much of a difference that makes. But it's got an hour queue because they're only running it on 2 trains, so 1 train per side. So yeah, it's running very slowly. The queue is moving very slowly, and the operations are pretty slow on there as well. So I don't know if I'm going to go around on there again. Hopefully it'll quieten down, because I would like to go around on there again. I don't know, see what it's like on a wheel seat, or see what it's like on the other side. I don't know, just because I mean, I'm pretty surprised by that, to be honest. It was actually really good fun. So I'm going to go for a ride on the big one now, the UK's second tallest roller coaster. I believe it's still on advertised 70-minute queue. However, time's kind of running out now here now. It's coming up to 5 o'clock and this closes at 9 to prepare for the fireworks. And also some of the other rides that close at 9 are also around an hour's queue. So I want to make sure I get on these rides. So the plan is to do this, then Nickelodeon Street, and also the Big Dipper. So hopefully I'll be able to get all of those done. So I've done a couple rides since I last spoke to you. I had my ride on the big one there, the UK's second tallest roller coaster. It still seems weird saying that. Of course, we've got Hyperion now at Thorpe Park. But yeah, it was good to get back on the big one. I was on the second row from the back, which was fairly smooth, to be honest. The wheel seats are known for being rougher. However, yeah, I made sure I was on a non-wheel seat there. The first drop towards the back is terrible because it really kind of jolts you to the side. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. Sure, there's still a few moments of bumpiness, but it's not the most comfortable ride. However, definitely get on a non-wheel seat if you can. I do prefer it towards the front. So next time I go on it, I'll definitely make sure to go near the front because hopefully, I mean, I can't. It's been a while since I've been near the front on the big one because I remember last time I went on it, I was towards the back as well. So yeah, I'd like to get on the front at some point later. Probably won't happen because there's only a couple hours left until a lot of these rides over in this side of the park are going to close because of course these rides close an hour earlier for the fireworks. So the plan now, hopefully I'm going to get on Big Dipper, then Revolution, and then Icon again. And I went on Icon just after the big one as well. I actually had two rides because there was a spare seat, so I was able to go around again. Literally, I got off the road, got my bag, there was an empty seat, and then I was like, oh, can I go around again? They were like, yeah, just get on. Otherwise, it would have gone around as an empty seat. So yeah, happy about that. I got two back-to-back rides on there, on the back row as well. Really good. It's running really well. 3 rides on there today. Absolutely love it. So I had my ride on the Big Dipper there, 101 years old. What an absolute classic, and it is a fantastic ride. I was on a non-wheel seat, the second row from the back. That was fantastic. I got some amazing airtime on there, absolutely flying out of my seat. It's good that the trains are so nicely padded as well. That's the good thing with the wooden coasters here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. They're all nicely padded on the trains. That would be extremely painful if it didn't have any padding because it is rough. It is very, to be fair, that was joltier than the Grand National, and it's the Grand National that tends to get a reputation for being the roughest of the wooden coasters, but that would be very uncomfortable without the padding. As the padding's there, it means there's no pain, which means you can enjoy the airtime. So therefore, it's a fantastic ride, really enjoyed it. And for 101 years old, you would expect it to be rough. So I did say earlier that I wanted to get another ride on Revolution. However, to be honest, the main reason I wanted to go on Revolution later on in the day is because I wanted to get some views from the top of there with the sun going down and the rest of the park. It's a bit cloudy, so therefore I've decided I'm not going to go on Revolution. Instead, I'm going to go on another classic Woody here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I'm going to go for a ride on Nickelodeon Street instead. So it's currently advertised half an hour. It's about an hour until most of these rides are going to close. So I'm going to go for a ride on here, and then maybe I'll go for a ride on Revolution after this, or maybe Avalanche, because I haven't been on that today. So I just had a ride on Nickelodeon Street there. Yeah, very similar situation to the other wooden coasters here. Great padding on there, a little bit jolty, however still a great ride with some really good airtime on there. Really, really enjoy the Blackpool wooden coasters. I know a lot of people say they're rough, and yes, they are rough. However, they're classic coasters, aren't they? You would expect them to be a bit rough. And that's what you want from a wooden coaster. You don't want a wooden coaster to be silky smooth. It's like, it's a classic wooden coaster. When you think of Blackpool Pleasure Beach, you think of those classic rides, and they've still got 4 classic wooden coasters here. One of them I haven't been on, but that's only a tiny one anyway, so I have got that credit before. However, yeah, I didn't do Blue Flyer today, but the other 3 I have done today. Fantastic. So I'm now going to get some footage around Icon. So unfortunately the queue for Nickelodeon Streak was a lot longer than advertised and I missed Icon. So Icon's now closed. However, hopefully there will still be some trains going around so I can get some footage because it looks amazing with all the train lights on. So it is nearly time for the fireworks to begin. I'm going to go and take my spot over by Big Dipper and I'll put in some highlights of the fireworks.
I like the good one.
So there we go, you just saw some footage of the fireworks there, which was fantastic. And then on the way out to the park, I also went into Passage del Terror, which is the scare maze here. I'd never been in there before, so I thought, yeah, I'd give it a go. And that was really good as well. It was pretty long. The actors in there were great, had a great story. What was good about that is there's lots of different kind of iconic characters in there, whilst also some non-IP ones as well. You had like Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers in there and Ghostface, but then there were also some other characters in there and other scenes that you go in there that it also used. So yeah, that was really good. So there we go, that now wraps up a fantastic day here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. My first visit for late night riding. It's been great seeing the park in the dark for the first time with all of the lights on. That was absolutely fantastic, really enjoyed that. I got on loads of rides here today as well. 3 rides on Icon, I got on the 3 big wooden coasters as well. It has been a fantastic day, and of course getting back on the big one as well, the UK's second tallest roller coaster, no longer the tallest in the UK anymore, but it has been fantastic, and of course ending it with fireworks there. That's now the end of this vlog here. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at George Kelly and follow me on Twitter at George Kelly. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe everyone, and I will see you all later. Bye.